Today we're going to be talking about GORR the God Butcher, and I've been delaying this revisit for a very long time because I haven't been able to awaken this guy, but now he's awakened and now I can access all of his utility and all of his damage. So right now we're just going to do a simple Realm of Legends Winter Soldier test. His playstyle is really unique. I like the playstyle that you have to just spam light attack combos, build up your buffs, and then cash in on a big SP3. And then just rinse them with the damage over time right afterwards. I really love the rotation, and you're gonna see that the damage is actually pretty solid for GORR. You're gonna see what I'm talking about right here. So we're trying to build up to our 20 debuff so we can gain a power gain that pushes us to our SP3, right here. I dropped the SP1, he blocks it, but look at what happens when he blocks it. He gets so much damage over time on him. So I can just go right in immediately, get almost 20 of each debuff on him. I drop the SP3 and it's gonna do a ton of damage. Let's see the damage here. That was about 175,000 damage, and now I have one of each shadow magic buff added to my account, and I can just keep going in, and you can see that the damage over time is really adding up. So this has been a really good matchup for GORR so far, and he is melting, and he's done. He's down. That was a minute and 18 seconds. Yeah, that is really impressive for GORR. So now I want to get a feel for the character on where he can best be used, and I feel like any node that benefits from his application of debuffs is where he works best. For example, this is the selected time stream lane, and in this node you want to be able to apply shock or incinerate to stop them from regenerating all of their health, and GORR has very easy access to shock. So you're going to see right here, I just have to do a double medium and then he will not regen from the node, which is perfect. That's what you want. And it's just, I just like how easy his utility is to access. The shocks, the poisons, the bleeds, they all have their uses and they're just really easy to access. That's what I like about the character so much, that he's just a really simple character. I don't think he has the most utility, but the things he does, he just has really easy access to, is the thing. So we're going to build our SP3 now, so we can get one of each shadow magic buff. And then that should be it for the fight, pretty much, I believe. But yeah, you can see, once we put on the first shock, it just never went away. We've been shocking him the whole time. He has not regened once just because, we have so many shocks on him. And now we're just going to double medium, get the damage over time up, and he's just going to melt. We can hit through his block as well to apply them. I feel not many people knew that you can do that. Hit their block, and then they get the damage over time debuff. It's really good. It's a really good ability. You can SP1 into the block, and they will take a bunch of damage over time. So it's a great ability to have. So yeah, now we're back for another selected time stream fight. This is a Dr. Octopus now. There's nothing really significant about this. It's the same setup pretty much. You just want to build up your magic debuffs and then just do a double medium right afterwards, and then you should be good to go. I almost forgot to apply the debuff there, so I almost let him regen, but I got it in the end, so that's fine. And now we're just gonna try to build up our debuff so we can get our power gain, and then it should be smooth sailing from there, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I just really like the simplicity of the character. Okay, maybe that's because he's not really simple. He has his shadow magic. He has he does have a lot, to be fair, but it's just that what he's good for is just so simple to access. That's what I like, characters like that. I don't like characters that have to do so much just to get something that they something that they can counter, But with GORR, you just literally double medium and then bam, your debuffs are there and they counter a lot. So it's just really nice to see that he actually does have quite some use in the game, in my opinion. So that was also a pretty good fight. That was a pretty fast matchup as well. Now we're going to be in 6.3, which is, this is Stunning Reflection Lane, I believe. But as much as I've been praising the character, I feel there is definitely cons for this guy. I feel he's definitely worthy of a tune-up, and that's just simply because his shadow magic does not last long enough at all. As you can see, I've been running a full synergy team with this guy. I've been running Thor and Captain America Infinity War. Okay, well, I guess that's not a full synergy team, but you know what I mean. I've had to run synergies with him. And that's because at base, his shadow magic buffs just do not last long at all. And it's very frustrating. And it sucks because that's how you get your debuffs on, and your debuffs are pretty much your utility, except for the signature ability, which we'll get into later. But yeah, like, I don't know. That's like one thing I don't like about GORR, like the fact that he kind of does need synergies in a sense. Like, he needs two at least. He needs two synergies. But thankfully, one of the characters are good. I don't know about OG Thor. He has his fans still, I guess. I mean, I think my friend has a rank 4 Thor. That's pretty awesome, but I don't know. I just can't really say too much about the character. But anywho, we get to our SP3, we drop it, and then yeah, the fight's done. He counters Sudden Reflection so well because you just do one light ending combo, double medium, and then the shield is gone, right? Like, that just goes back to what I've been saying. The simplicity of like his utility is just great. I like how easy it is to access. Do I wish there was more utility? Of course. Like, having debuffs shouldn't be like your whole utility kit. I mean, to be fair, he does also have a ton of access to buffs. He does have his Undermine debuff, which we're going to get into, and his damage in the longer fights can be quite insane. But I don't know if I'm going to be showcasing that in this video. I might save it for a separate video because it is actually insane how good he is in the long fights. But yeah, so far this is going just as smooth as the last one. We're just trying to do like 5 combos to get the poison up. You can also hit her block, which applies the poison, so like it's just really hard to mess this up because you can just hit her double medium, or you can just hit her to her block and then she gets the poison. So I don't know, man. I like GORR. I really like the character. I love the SP3. Like, we're about to watch it right now. It's such a good SP3. Okay, I skipped it. Oh my god. I literally said we're about to watch the SP3 and I skipped it. Oh my, shame on me. Shame on past me. But yeah, I like the animations. I don't like his profile picture. I'm gonna be nitpicky for a second. I have to point that out. I do not like his profile picture. I like the design of the character, but the profile picture is a no-go. Not a fan. That's really random, but I just had to say it. I had to say it. I'm sorry. But yeah, like, I love the character. I like the vibe of him as well. Like, he's like a god butcher, whatever the heck that means. But and like, it's a cool name, I guess. It's really cool. I just wish he was a little bit better. Like, I do think he is a pretty decent character overall, but I just do not think he is like great, you know? Like, I've said a lot of pros, but there are more cons than there are pros. Like, you know, sometimes like the AI can be really passive, so you can't really get up your debuffs. Sometimes they just like don't want to throw special and you just like lose all your buffs. So it's just really hard to like play him sometimes. But this path is the 7.3 Paradox buff potency lane. You're gonna see just how potent those buffs get, because it's like really hilarious at the end of this fight. So yeah, we have a ton of Paradox built up now, so we're just gonna try to get to our SP3, and then you're gonna see what happens after that. It's really, really funny. He's really good for Paradox lanes because he has buffs to benefit from and he has debuffs to benefit from. Like, he gets like the best of both worlds, and if there's like a combat power rate increase, he also benefits from that as well. Like, he just benefits from a ton from Paradox. I feel like Paradox is like not really made for him, but it was like, it works really, really well with him is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, now we're trying to build to the SP3, or we're trying to get the 20 debuffs for the power gain, but it's the same thing. It all leads to the same thing. You just throw the SP3 and it creates a really nice picture. So now we do the power gain. Now we go for the heavy attack. You can see how much we were like gaining power. That was quite insane. So I think I skipped this one. I sure hope I do. Okay, I don't skip. Okay, there I do. And look at that. We went right back to an SP3. That is so funny. Like that's gold. I was laughing because like this is just crazy. He is so good for Paradox lanes, like most of them at least anyways. So now we're gonna go on to Thunderstruck. This is the 6.3 lane. Yeah, 6.3 lane. And he's just really good for this just because his shock application is so straightforward. So yeah, like he is just really, really, really good for this path. Because look how simple it is. We do a light ending combo there, and then we do it again. And then we do double medium, or not. Okay, we do that combo. And look, we have the shotgun now, so it's perfect. It's just really perfect. Yeah. Like, it just goes back to what I've been saying 100 times now. It's just really easy application of his utility. And I love it. I think it's great. I just wished it was more. I'm trying to think of what other utility he has. He does have his regen, which is pretty nice. It's a good failsafe. It's not really, like, applicable, like, offensively, just because you have to get hit to access it. And you also, like, you can get it by triggering a debuff as well, like a damage over time debuff on you, but you're just going to melt from that debuff anyways, to be fair. So I wouldn't say it's, like, a practical use. But yeah, this fight went really, really well. I skipped it again. I don't know why I'm skipping the SP3. I like the animation. I guess just to save time, which is fair, but I'm starting to get annoyed by it. So yeah, this is Thunderstruck again. Same fight idea, just get, like, your Volt Magic, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, his names for his magic are really cool. It's like Venom Magic, Volt Magic, and then Viscera Magic. That's pretty cool. Like, this guy. And also, I just want to say that I held off on the dupe because you get increased damaging debuff duration as well. And it's really good for things like this, you know, where you want to have the debuffs up at all times. So that's why I held off on this revisit for so long. I think I promised it like 2 weeks ago, and that's just really bad. But my friend pointed out that I promised a showcase that I haven't done in like 3 months or something. So yeah, I am quite behind, but it's fine. Well, it's not fine, but still, we'll get through it, okay? So yeah, I'm just about to get to my SP3. I drop it. Hopefully it KOs him. I think it does. It should. Yeah, look at that damage. That damage is nice. His SP3 is so satisfying, man. I love it. It's so fun to watch. And speaking of a signature ability, I tried to find like a good use for it in like a path, and I just couldn't find it. So I was like, okay, I'll do this boss. This boss is really annoying, but I'll do it. I'll do it for GORR. I don't think GORR is that special to me, but I'll still do it for him. But like this is the Darkhawk boss in 6.4. This guy sucks. Like, I forgot. Even with the nerf, it's just annoying having to bait out all of his special attacks. Like, obviously this guy can just be countered easily by, like, I don't know, Human Torch or something, but GORR is also a pretty decent counter because his signature ability. So every time he triggers a shadow magic buff, he also triggers an Undermine. And Undermine is like, it's like True Strike, but just for auto block. It grants unblockable to like auto block attacks, which is good because like Penny Parker, for example, she reduces the ability accuracy of like True Strike, True Accuracy, all that, right? But she doesn't reduce the ability accuracy of Undermine. So GORR counters Penny Parker quite well. Same thing with like any node that prevents True Strike from happening or True Accuracy from happening, GORR will be the answer to that because his Undermine is really, really easy to access and it's just really straightforward. Like, you don't have to really do much work for it. Like, Super Scroll, for example, he does have Undermine as well, but that's much harder to get. GORR, you just do like a light ending combo and you have your Undermine debuff. I think it's a debuff, actually. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a debuff. Like, it's weird. It looks like a buff, but it's like a debuff on yourself. It's weird, I think. But yeah, this matchup isn't ideal for GORR just because you're like spending so much time baiting special attacks. There's also like his miss mode, and he doesn't really counter miss at all. So it can get annoying for GORR, you know. But he does counter the auto block though, so I will say that he is at least a counter for this. I'm not saying he's a great one, but he is one. So yeah, take that with a grain of salt. Yeah. But he's making pretty decent time so far on this matchup, actually. Like, it is a long fight for most champs just because, like, the auto block is so annoying and the miss is so annoying as well. But GORR, he's powering through. He's a trooper. But yeah, it's so annoying having to, like, heavy attack every, like, 5 seconds just because he throws the SP2, like, almost instantly. And also another thing, whenever you hit Darkhawk's block, he inflicts a shock. But GORR, whenever he gets like a damaging debuff on him, he gains a regen. And they count like Darkhawk's block thing as a debuff. Or they count it as a shock. So GORR gets like that regen. So he regens a ton in this fight as well. So he's a really safe option for this fight in my opinion. So yeah, we get the boss down. Wasn't the smoothest fight, but it did really show how good his Undermine debuff is. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the showcase. I'm a fan. I really, really like GORR. There is one more thing I want to show with this guy, but that'll be a separate video next week because it is quite crazy. Like, I was in disbelief that he was, like, putting out those numbers, but you're gonna see what I'm talking about later. And yeah, that's about it for me.